Boston Celtics get a huge win over the Cavs. Jaylen Brown was awesome, and I'll tell you why. The Celtics' two most important stretches came in the first half right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Beantown, be ever ready. It's the C's. Who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT. Karalis recap the madness every game, every practice. Prime time dapping D White on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day. Your team is the Boston Celtics, and I talk about them Monday through Friday, bonus podcasts on the weekend, so I'm going straight through Saturday, Sunday podcasts. All of them are free. I'm podcasting for 2 straight weeks for you. You don't have to pay for anything. Just subscribe, get onto that YouTube page if you want to watch, get into the comment section, share your thoughts with your fellow everydayers. The people are joining me every day of the week. I'm John Karalis, beat writer for Boston Sports Journal. I've been covering the team for about 20 years now, and I've written a couple of books about the team. And today, the team I'm talking about is a team that beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Boston Celtics win 125-105. Later on, I'll thank the Cavs for all of the things that they did to help this win along, because the Cavs were certainly complicit in their own demise. I'll get into individual players in the second segment. Jalen, Josh Minott, Payton Pritchard, among others. But let's just start with this win and those clutch moments that I was just talking about. First and foremost, huge win. It's a win that most people probably chalked up as a loss, unless you're, just going on faith and saying, hey, bleed green. Okay, fine. Totally fine. You want to do that? That's your prerogative. Analyzing this, you look at it and you say, okay, this is probably going to be a loss. But as I said in yesterday's show with Tom, I said, a 25 to 30% chance of winning this game, which means you win 3 out of 10. And this was one of the 10 because they shot the ball extraordinarily well for most of the game. They finished at 37%, which is above average, just a little bit above league average. But at one point they were 20 of 50 late in the game. They finished 21 of 57. So there's a little 1 of 7 stretch that included some garbage time, a couple of late misses, but for all intents and purposes, that 40% was about what they shot for most of this game. So I thought this is like the best case scenario for the Celtics in a win that is still in that figuring out phase. So the first few games of the season that they lost, they weren't shooting well at all. Just obviously Payton and Derrick still struggling from 3. They were combined 4 of 20. Not good. That's not a good number. Was that 20%? So the rest of the guys, like Sam Hauser, 7 of 13. You had Anthony Simons, 4 of 6. Josh Minott, 2 of 6. Okay. Jaylen Brown, 4 of 9. The rest of the guys hit plenty. So the shooting was there to kind of carry them through as they figured out some of the things that they were still trying to figure out, defense and rebounding and all that stuff. The rebounding was really good for the first half. And I'll get more into that later on when I talk about the Cavs being complicit. But in general, the rebounding was good. The shooting was good. It allowed them to get through some tough moments. Second quarter, a great second quarter in a season so far where second quarters have been a problem. So here are the 2 most important stretches that I was talking about. I'll start with Sam Hauser, who came in and hit 4 for 4 and then hit another one shortly after that. And then doesn't really get another couple of shots until the fourth quarter. And it's just a funny little stretch. But Hauser comes in and hits his first 4 3-pointers. And this is an important stretch right away because the Cavs shot 10 of 12 in the first quarter from 3. So the Celtics end up down at the end of the first quarter, 42-40, which is also another 42-point quarter. The Celtics have this thing about giving up 42-point quarters, but at least this time they scored 40 to counteract that. Before they were giving up 42-point quarters and scoring 18, 20, they were getting crushed in those quarters. And that stretch of Hauser 3-pointers, he comes in at 6:05. He checked in at 6:20. 15 seconds later, 3-pointer. Then 40 seconds later, 3-pointer. And then 28 seconds later, 3-pointer. And then a minute 15 later, 3-pointer. Mixed in there, a Simons 3-pointer. On the other side, the Cavs were going just ballistic themselves. Hunter, Mobley hits a couple. The only thing early on that Mobley had done, Wade hits a 3-pointer. Mitchell starts going crazy. Porter hits a 3-point. They start, the Cavs are just pouring it on. So to me, that stretch where Sam Hauser checked in is an early, low-key, critical point for the Celtics. And we didn't know it at the time. Kind of felt it because it was a shootout. But the Cavs put out that 42-point first quarter. Hauser is right there putting up 3-pointers himself. And then Simons and other guys start kind of chipping in a little bit. But their ability, the Celtics' ability to shoot in that first quarter and hit those 3-pointers was massive, because that allows them to go into the second quarter only down 2. You weather the storm. Down 2 is nothing. That allows them to go in and have a second quarter where they start playing really well. They don't have a lull like they did in the in other quarters. In fact, they win this quarter 35-18. They go back and forth. And at the time, I said, geez, the Celtics can't shake these Cavs. And because the Celtics are started out so tough and it's, still a learning phase of this, I'm thinking, here we go. The Celtics are shooting great, but they can't just shake free of the Cavs because the Cavs are matching them. Donovan Mitchell was doing his thing at that point, 15 points through a quarter and a couple of minutes into the second quarter. I'm thinking okay, this might not go so great because the Celtics are hanging now, but can they sustain it? I expect the Cavs to sustain it. And it actually went the other way. As I'm saying, geez, these Celtics can't shake the Cavs. All of a sudden, you get a 20-3 run in which Jaylen Brown scores 13 points. And that stretch is obviously a monster stretch. This is where they turn things around. A third critical stretch happens late in the third quarter where the Celtics had it up to 19. And I'm like, God, here's another one. They can't get over that 20 point. Like if you can get it to 20, maybe this can go away. The Cavs can just go away. Cavs cut it to 12, and then you get Derrick White layup. Simons hits a crazy moonshot bank 3 to beat the shot clock. Queta gets fouled, goes to the line, hits a shot, hits one of 2 free throws, but that gets the lead back up to 18. So it went from 19 to 12 back to 18. They hit a couple of baskets and it got it down to 13. But you have these 3 critical points. Number 1, first quarter, Hauser and Simons matching a blistering hot Cavs, so the Cavs can't run away and hide early. Second quarter, hanging and playing well, and then going on that massive run. Jaylen Brown was incredible in that. That's a critical point because now all of a sudden the Celtics are up 15 heading into the third quarter. They generally play well in third quarters. You're feeling good about this. And they did come out. They played well. Like I said, built that lead up to 19. Cavs coming back. At the end of third quarters, Celtics have kind of waned a little bit. and it looked like they were starting to, but that stretch to keep it in the teens heading into the fourth quarter, that was so important, because then the Celtics could Josh Minott put this thing away with his defensive intensity. And let's take that and go into the second segment of individual performances. Jaylen, Josh, Payton, Neemi, all of those guys. We'll talk about them individually as we come back and talk about this Celtics win. Today's show is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus. It's powered by Peloton IQ, and it's their most advanced equipment yet. It's designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs. These tools help you plan and stay motivated and reach peak performance. The Peloton IQ system is a real-time strength coach. This is so important. It tracks your reps, suggests the right weights, corrects your form. Now, I've spent a lot of time in a gym. I know that the two most common mistakes are people always try to use too much weight, and their form is terrible because they use too much weight. So this Peloton IQ system is going to help you make sure you're using the right weights, and correcting your form helps you make sure that you're getting those gains that you're looking for. Use that swivel screen so you can go from running on the Tread Plus to training without missing a beat. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA and Locked On NBA Game Night. They are both in the same feed. Game Night, 7 days a week, covering every game in the association with little cameos from all of us, like me on this show on Thursday. Then Locked On NBA covers all the big storylines. So that's Monday through Friday, both in the same feed. You find that where you found this. Individual performances, I got to start with Jaylen Brown, because I think there's a temptation to say Josh Minott, oh my God, and some of these other guys, definitely like those, the aberrations, and I would count the Josh Minott game as an aberration because he set a career high in rebounding. But Jaylen, like I said before, that 13-point stretch was just unbelievable. He's shooting the lights out right now. He had 18 points in the second quarter. He had 30 overall, 12 of 20, 4 of 9 from 3, a couple of free throws. He had been getting to the line a lot more, so whatever. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, just 2 turnovers. It's not going to be everybody's top story on Thursday, but that is a superstar line. That is an incredible line for Jaylen. 35, 4, steal, a block, and just 2 turnovers. Celtics protected the ball well. 8 turnovers, just 8 turnovers in this game. 60, 44, and 100 splits. I know the 100 is just 2 for 2 from the line, but still, Jaylen doing everything and being that steady guy. Like he has stepped up, minus the Knicks game. He has stepped up and played really well. It makes me think like the Knicks game, he might have put a little bit too much on that. Yeah, obviously that's where the Celtics season ended. He probably had a little extra juice. It was his birthday. He's in New York. He probably put a little too much on that. And I don't know. Did he psych himself out? Whatever it was, it happens. The way he played in this game was absolutely perfect. Great. Just a great performance from Jaylen. Josh Minott, 11 points, 14 rebounds, career high 14 rebounds, career high 5 offensive rebounds. The rebounding is a big story here, obviously, because the Celtics won that battle 18-11 offensive rebounding. Overall, it was 52-42. That's the Celtics. We know the game plan. The game plan is you crush them with crashing and dare them to box you out and perform well. Again, I'm going to get to the more of this in the next segment when the Cavs, I just look at it from a Cavs perspective, but the Celtics won the second chance points 23-19. I'm going to venture to say that unless they shoot 15% from three, the Celtics will win every game where they win the second chance points. If they win second chance points, their winning percentage is going to be, if not perfect, almost perfect this season. I'd be interested to go back at the end of the season and kind of see what those if those numbers bear out, but they're going to get out rebounded so much that when they hold teams off, they can do the stuff that they need to do. So great job there. Fast break points, still not where it needs to be, but they did force 14 turnovers and scored 19 points off of those turnovers. So the Celtics won the points off turnover battle. So Josh Minott was part of the rebounding thing. Well, the final box actually has him as 15 now. I'm just noticing that. I'm looking at the official scorers report as opposed to the box score on NBA.com. Interesting. NBA.com has him as 14 rebounds. The official scorers report has him as 15 rebounds and 10 defensive rebounds. So there's a little discrepancy there. But regardless, he was so good coming in. I highlighted him before the game as a starter, a potential starter, and they ended up doing that. I did that on Boston Sports Journal to guard Evan Mobley, and he did a really good job. He's the exact right specs to go guard Evan Mobley, to stay in front of him. Mobley's not going to overpower a lot of people, so Minott as the four, as opposed to going double big. Chris Boucher was a DNP coach's decision. They didn't have to go double big on this, and you go with Minott, who's just a little bit more mobile, faster, can handle the ball in transition. He did everything they wanted him to do on Mobley. I thought Mobley was completely invisible for most of this game, and Minott starting was a huge reason why. Getting in there and clearing the rebounds is just so massively important for him. And Neemias Queta, excuse me, we're going to lump him into that too, because they either had 27 or 28 combined rebounds, and the 13 rebounds for Queta was a career high, 5 offensive rebounds for him. So that these two guys getting in there and keeping possessions alive and giving the Celtics 95 shots. So in those 95 shots, they shoot 44%, not the best percentage in the world, but they make 42 baskets as compared to 35 for the Cavs, who only got 87 shots. And the Celtics put up 52 3-pointers. Cavs put up 57. And I'm sorry, other way around. The Cavs put up 52. The Celtics put up 57. And the Celtics end up just getting more. They shot 21 of 57. The Celtics get more opportunities. They go to the line an equal amount of times. The Celtics cash in a couple more. That energy, that rebounding, that's all part of all of this. So great game from Queta. This is another great game from Queta, which you hope is part of a trend that's building. Now, he has had stretches where it's like 2, 3, 4 good games in a row, and then he tails off. What we hope for from Queta is consistency, and 2 in a row is better than not 2 in a row. Now we've got to see 3 and 4 and 5. And Joe Mazzulla has been pushing him on this. You got to come out and you got to do the things that put you in position to be good. You've got to make sure that, the rest, the warm-ups, the routine, the mental, all of that stuff is all where it needs to be. And then the rest of the stuff can take care of itself. So good job by Queta, who also had 3 assists, a 10-point, 13 rebound, 3 assists, 3 steals for him, 3 steals for Minott. This is incredible. It's incredible stuff from I guess your front court, right? Minott and Queta are the center and power forward. So great performances out of them. Pritchard did not shoot well, 4 of 13 overall, 1 of 8 from 3, but I thought he had a great game. Otherwise, he was in control. The 10 assists, I think 9 of them came in the first half, but he was penetrating. He was finding guys. He hit was Anthony Simons, top left of the above the break with this hook pass. Pritchard drives right, is at the right block and fires a hook pass high opposite to Simons for a 3. That was a beautiful pass. So Pritchard, even though the shots aren't falling, I think he and Derrick White, again, White 5 of 20, 3 of 12 from 3, struggling a little bit with their shooting and finding their offense. Derrick needs to calm down. Derrick needs to let the game come to him. He's getting good looks. Like, I think if you look at the shots that he's taking, you can argue those are good looks. But I also think that he's rushing. He's taking the absolute first decent look that he can get, where I just think he can be a little bit more patient on some of them and look for the good to great. This is a place where you got to look for that good to great shot, and the shots will start to fall. Don't worry about it. So, but Pritchard distributing was good. And look, Derrick White wasn't a complete negative either. He was a plus 15. I know the Celtics won by 20, but he was a plus 15. 4 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal, 2 turnovers. He got to the line 6 of 6. So he did other things. He definitely did other things. He's just pressing when it comes to the shot. Nice game from Simons, like I said. Nice game from Hauser. Like I said, 7 of 13. All of his shots were 3-pointers. A good job defensively from him. Luka Garza, had a little old school post move in there. That was fun. Hugo Gonzalez played 4 minutes and sat. He was not effective against Donovan Mitchell. Not a surprise. Not a big deal. Xavier Tillman, minimal minutes. Shireman, Joe shouted out Shireman getting some minutes up against Donovan Mitchell, and he did a decent job, and that was good. Baylor slowly kind of trying to weasel his way back into the lineup, and this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I haven't given up on anybody, and I'm certainly not giving up on Baylor Shireman. He has an opportunity. He has an opportunity to be a contributor, and this is how you do it. So good job by him. So those are the individual performances. We'll come back. Look, if I'm being real, the Cavs definitely deserve an assist on this as well. I'll talk about that when I come back. Today's show is brought to you by Rippling. If you're a business owner, here is the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier. Now, the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams, simply don't work together. That is not SaaS. That is sad software as a disservice. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance all in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. Rippling removes bottlenecks, busy work that slow teams down. Bottlenecks and busy work, 2 B words that you do not want in your business. They give you everything from onboarding to payroll to IT access. It runs automatically and perfectly in sync. So whether you want to run your entire HR, IT, and finance operation as one, or just fill the gaps in your software stack, Rippling can do it all. And right now, you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. That's Rippling, RIPPLING.com/LockedOnNBA. Rippling.com/LockedOnNBA for 6 months free. Today's show is also brought to you by Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again, channeling that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood's Legends Advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. That again is Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Locked On Fantasy Basketball should be your second or third listen, depending if you go to Locked On NBA, whatever. Either way, make it part of your rotation because Josh Lloyd's going to help you win your fantasy league. If you got a fantasy league and you're not listening to Josh Lloyd, you're just not taking it seriously enough. You got money on the line or something? Josh is going to help you with your lineups, ads, drops, starts, bench, all of that stuff. Okay. We're going to wrap it up here with the Cavs, who I couldn't understand what was going on with them. Other than to say, look, Donovan Mitchell played, I think, the hamstring. He showed up on the injury report with a hamstring thing. He scored 12 points in the first quarter. He hit a three-pointer early at the second 10:36 mark in the second quarter. And that was it. Didn't score again. Did not score again. Missed a couple of free throws, all of that. But that was a very, if I'm from a Cavs perspective, I'm like, what the hell happened to Donovan Mitchell? But it must have been the hamstring thing because he just didn't look like himself after he sat. Evan Mobley, completely non-existent. I was talking to people before the game who asked me, we always thought, so how do you think it's going to go tonight? I thought, man, Evan Mobley could have a big night. This is, he has if he's as good as he's supposed to be, he has advantages over everybody on the team. Who can guard him? Well, Josh Minott can guard him. But I was expecting Mobley to be like, this should have been a 30-point, 15 to 20 rebound game. Like he could have had a monster night against the Celtics team. But neither he nor the rest of the Cavs were really interested in rebounding. I could tell every team knows what the scouting report is. Just shoot jumpers, shoot whatever shot you want, and crash the boards. The misses are like assists. It's the Kobe assist. You grab the offensive rebound and you go and score. So why didn't they crash the boards? Again, I'm asking kind of like in a rhetorical way. I'm very happy for, that kind of performance. I don't know what caused it. I'd be disappointed in Mobley though. I'm going to, listen to Locked On Cavs to get their take. This was just a terrible game from a guy that should have dominated. It is a credit to Minott and a credit to the Celtics for keeping him in check and kind of forcing him that way. But I do feel like there's a little bit of once you force him in that direction, he very willingly kind of goes into that direction. And it is a question about look, the Cavs are a championship contender, but do they have the right players? They have talented players. Is it the right players? I don't know. I don't want to overreact to something early, but the Cavs, like Mitchell, kind of disappearing after his first stint was, kind of very helpful. Mobley not being aggressive, the Cavs not being aggressive. They came into this game 17th in the NBA in offensive rebound percentage. I was surprised that it was that low because they've got, between Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, they've got guys that can crash. The league as a whole is crashing as a philosophy. There's a lot more offensive rebounding going on. Yet the Cavs don't seem interested in doing that. So that really helped the Celtics. Whenever you see a team kind of punt on offensive rebounding, then great. That's perfect for the Celtics. I do wonder, and this is kind of like the New Orleans thing, if these two teams were to match up in the playoffs, and it's possible, if they were to match up in the playoffs, they probably would have had a plan to attack the basket and attack the offensive rebounds, because it would be coaching malpractice if they didn't. But I would say probably not going that deep into their bag against the Celtics to get an October win. They probably felt like, we're more talented, we should get this win. And they didn't do certain things. I bring all of this up to say that it is great that the Celtics won. We do have to take into account that the Cavs kind of didn't play their kind of full capability. And I want to treat these games appropriately. You take the games that you know, however it goes, and you take it and you take the win and you move on. And it's a big win, but there's a different level to this Cavs team, or should be. And it's just, I'm just going to put it there that the next time these two teams play, I wonder if they're going to do a few things differently. But great job by the Celtics. I'll wrap it up with this. Win like this, when we talk about win totals at the end, we kind of talked about it in yesterday's show a little bit too. Well, I was saying 0-7 is possible. They got the win in New Orleans. Okay, 1-6, 2-5. Well, now 3-4, I think, is on the table in this first 7-game stretch, because they can beat Philly. And maybe Tyrese Maxey is due for a stinker. And maybe the second time around against Edgecombe, the Celtics have more film and they kind of know how to guard him a little bit more. You go out and you get that. I don't have a lot of faith in the Houston game. I'm sorry. Like, that's second night on a back-to-back against a team full of trees that they will crash. That's a game that, look, just gird your loins. This is going to be that one might be a tough one, which is totally fine. Not a big deal. If they go 3-4, well, now they come out of that stretch a lot better than I thought they would. And then they have that 4-game stretch that I talked about afterwards, where it's Utah, Washington, Orlando twice. Well, now you go 3-1. Now you're 6-5. Okay. Well, if you're 6-5, that 44 win prediction that I had suddenly feels a lot better, because you get through that early part of the schedule relatively well. If you can start piling up some wins against these bad teams, it looks okay. You look like you're in a good spot. So this is an important win for them in terms of playoffs and all that. This is an important win. Anytime you can steal a game, take a game against a good team, that's an important game. That's an important win. And it's important for confidence and important to kind of like reward guys, like a guy like Minott getting the rewards, the hustle, the defense, all of that stuff, and all the attention after the game. And that's just motivating to be like, yes, I'm going to go play this way again. I'm going to keep doing this. The wins at this point of the season are so important, just to be like, you know, you accomplished a goal. Here's a treat. Yeah. And that's okay. Great. I want to accomplish another goal, so I get another treat. So that's big. So Cavs doing their part. Great. Congratulations. I guess, who cares? It's the win is important for Boston. Still got a lot to figure out, but you take this momentum into Philly, they could win 3 in a row, get back to 500. That's entirely possible. So I'll be here tomorrow with another podcast, then post-game Philly, post-game Rockets, and it's all free. It's all available everywhere. It's on your favorite podcasting app. It's on YouTube. You can get to the comment section there, share your thoughts with me about all of this stuff. And more importantly, share the podcast, spread the word, tell everybody that they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast. Here on the Locked On Podcast Network, it's your team every day.